Hello everybody, my name's Atley. Welcome back to my SnowRunner hard mode playthrough. We are in Grainwoods River in Wisconsin, picking up where we left off the last episode. Last episode ended up being more logistics than anything else. I brought some metal rolls to the construction place to make beams, with the intention of taking them through to the other map to make bridge repairs. But then partway through doing that, realised that I needed metal beams here for rail, and therefore better straightening that up a bit. Realised that I need metal beams here to make railway track sections, and therefore diverted my plans to drop the metal beams at this rail construction site. That was last episode. And then I did a fuel run as well, but so I didn't actually make any direct progress on completing tasks, but I got some useful stuff done. What I've realised since then is that there are other warehouses on this map that give me metal rolls, so there's a total of 30 more metal rolls on this map from warehouses that you unlock with tasks. So therefore that's more metal rolls than I will need to do the railway, and I could have used those beams and not worried about it too much. So in this episode what we're going to do is unlock at least one of those other warehouses, and that will give us access to more beams. And then if we have time in this episode, we can go off and do the bridge repair that I was planning on doing last episode. But it might be that we spend a bit of time just unlocking the resources on this map to allow us to proceed with that. We'll see. So I'm just basically heading back to the railway station. I'm taking the trailer with me just because I'm going in the direction of the railway station. But the main thing is I want the Zix on that side of the map to look at unlocking one of the other warehouses. And it's actually right next to the railway one that I got metal rolls out of last time. There's a second warehouse on the same railway depot. So we're going to do, I think it's the wrong turn. I've got it selected. And it's the same truck and trailer that we observed in a previous episode. When we were off looking at mushrooms in the woods. So I'm dropping the trailer off here, expecting that I will be loading it up with metal rolls at some point, maybe today. I wonder if it basically unlocks more stock for the same loading platform then. Oh no, there's another loading platform back there which I hadn't noticed. Try and get this in there so that I can turn it around. Ooh, hello. Hang on, trailer. Even though it's on the level crossing, it's still got caught a bit. Bullying the trailer a little bit, but get it where I want it, I hope. Well, I need it out of the way of where I'm going to deliver the rescue vehicle, don't I? I'll just move it further back than it needs to be for now. Leave it parked there for a minute. Attach the trailer. So we're going to go off down into the woods over the southern bridge that we repaired in like episode 3, maybe 4. Seems to be the easiest route to get down to this truck. It's a truck and trailer we got to recover actually, so probably attach Unless they're like pre-attached. I've never seen that, a towed vehicle that has an attached trailer to it, so I'm assuming I'll need to attach the trailer to the Zix and then tow the truck. I don't know if it needs repairs and fuel, although it is a maintenance trailer that it's on, so presumably I can repair it with its own trailer. So I need a path off to the left into the woods, or make my own path by going through here. We came down here in the pike after those mushrooms, so I think straight down here, and I intend pulling it back out the same way because it's a pretty much direct route to the railway station where we've got to deliver this thing. Zix is a bit OP for this map, isn't it? Really? Right, so what's this then? Is that one of the dairies? Got to take them both. I'm going to try doing it in one trip. Don't see any reason why that wouldn't work. I'm going to take some fuel out of it. It is... Oh, hello. It is full. Yeah, I'm going to want to... Yeah, I'm going to want to drain that before I hand this in, aren't I? So I'm going to take it out the way that I came in. But I am going to want to drain that thing of fuel before doing too much with it. I have to turn the truck around. I think that's the dairy that I don't have, I think. Or never had, because I think I've sold my other dairy. But the dairy that you get in Alaska, I don't think is quite the same one as that. Turn this around and put it on the trail. And then I've got to maneuver the dairy behind it. A big old truck miner dairy, isn't it? Just double check what the contract says. Delivered to the hangar, but I want to see if it doesn't imply any repair activity. Well, like I say, it's got its own repair trailer, so it's not a big deal if I have to repair it. See if we can get a winch on this and turn it round. Turn the engine on the dairy because it is a big truck to try and tow. Let it help me. I keep calling it a dairy. I'm pretty sure it's a dairy. Looks to me, has that got a rear wheel steer? Very interesting if so. Quite a distinctive looking vehicle, isn't it? A big old boxy thing. Right, disconnect there. And then I'll reconnect the trailer and see if we can get these both out in one trip. And that'll give me an extra 10. I've got 3 left in the warehouse that I already drained. Doesn't seem to connect too convincingly. I've got 3 metal rolls left in the warehouse that I've already drained. And this should give me another 10, I think. Just coming into late afternoon, start feeling a little bit of dusk lighting settings, so we get the headlights on. So I mentioned in the last episode that I've got myself other game related, but Star Citizen has its free week, which I think finishes in 2 days at the time of recording this. And I got myself in prison. It turned out, once I worked out what to do, that you just have to wait 20 minutes as a fledgling criminal, and the game says, okay, fine, you've served your time, out you go. So that wasn't too bad. But it's not a game I'm going to continue playing for now. I'll probably check it out. I love space games, and there's bits about it that are just incredible. There's some amazing quality graphics, gameplay, spaceships are really well designed. There's a lot about that game to love, but it's so buggy. It's so ridiculously buggy, and it's the same recurring bugs, as in you can do a couple of hours or an hour or so's activity to earn a bit of money to upgrade your ship, and then the game crashes and you lose everything and load back in, either in a prison or back in a med bay or insurance respawn point, and your ship is lost and you've lost all of the cargo that you've just collected. It's just way too buggy to play for me. Right, I'm gonna have to let go of this because it won't let me turn the corner. So I'll let go of the dairy for now. I'm trying to get my nose around past this big redwood. So I'm going to use that one. That's what I was trying to do. No. Right, okay. I've kind of got the dairy in a funny position because I tried cutting that corner too much. There we go. Right, what am I going to do about this fuel? I had a comment last night that I quite like. In order to maximize the use of this fuel, I'm going to bring the Kodiak through with its fuel tank. Use that to drain this one before handing in. And then when I do future fuel runs with the Tatra Phoenix and trailer, I can take the Kodiak as well and gain even more out of doing a run down to that $2 location. So I'll pay $3,500 to bring the Kodiak through here, and in the process gain fuel that's roughly the same value as the $3,500 deployment fee. So thank you very much for that comment, very much appreciated. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, a second truck on a tow rope going with the Phoenix and trailer gives me insurance in case I do tip over. I've got another truck there to help me get back on my wheels, plus more fuel benefit from the run. So I'm not going to deliver this right away. In fact, I'll turn the engine off of the towed vehicle, drop its line, handbrake on, turn my engine off, and jump into the garage. Just to satisfy my interest a sec. Yes, that Derry Longhorn. So I had a 3194, which I think I sold. And then the Derry Longhorn 4520 is the one we've just recovered. I've never owned one of them, never tried that truck out. But more importantly, let's get the Chevy Kodiak deployed here. $3,500. Don't need to, oh, actually, don't really need chains on it. What do I want to do? I'm going to buy tyres as well. Although I not care about chains really. I would put those on it. 43 UOD2s. Chains that are on it. Generally, it's not going to do a lot of mileage. The whole point is to save me a bit of money. So I don't want to spend money on tyres that I don't necessarily think I'll need. Lights on. This has got an 1800 litre capacity in the add-on. I thought I'd left it pretty much dry when I garaged it, so let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, 25. So I'll just put a little bit in to make sure I can definitely get. Just a bit. Make sure I can definitely get to that railway station without running out. Get some progress done. Some of these starter trucks, this Kodiak, I sold one of these in Michigan, and it was before you could unlock the, I think AWD, either AWD or diff, but it was before you could unlock one of those items, because the unlock is in quite a late map versus where I was in Michigan at the time, so I didn't see it as a useful truck to keep. And then I got another free one in Yukon, which I appreciate. All-wheel drive, get me over there. Turn that off again. But some of those early trucks I undervalued and sold them. So I posted about this, but Friday, one of the long-term commenters for my gameplay series, has started his own series on his channel in harder mode using New Game Plus. It's worth a watch, but he's using a GMC. Friday's using the GMC quite extensively, the one that you get in Michigan. And again, it's another truck that I just sold because I didn't value it, but actually it looks like it's a really capable vehicle, so I've got a little bit of seller's remorse, really. Right, fuel tank, fill it up, and then that leaves 32, so I've got to put enough back in there to be 200 in that maintenance trailer. One of the add-ons on the Zix is 200, so I will just change into the Zix, refuel. That puts me bang on the 10% to hand this in. Lights on. We'll do this when I'll do the dairy after, because I want to drain its tank, because it was empty when I found it. Maybe one of those that you need to deliver them both for it to register, which makes sense. And then we'll drag it dry into the delivery point. A little bit of shenanigans to get that done, but worth it, I think. $6,700 plus a nearly full 2,000 litres of fuel. Nice. And that gives us this other loading zone, which has ten metal rolls, and that's all it has, nothing else, but that will help us make some metal beams. Get the trailer attached, and then now what do I do to crane these on? Should I bring the Pacific or the Pike? I think I'll bring Pacific. I'll have to take it back again to load at the other end, but it's just quite fun to drive. Probably want to leave it there until all of the metal rolls are drained out of that supply. So we've got 13 to move with an 8-slot trailer. This has become one of my favourite trucks. It's quite funny as a rig, not necessarily just the Pacific, but this rig with this crane on it and the color scheme. It just looks right. It just looks good. And there's enough of a challenge in it that some of the places that I'll need to take it for various tasks will make it a challenging drive because it's quite top heavy, but you're not really trying to do much with it other than drive it from point to point where it loads. A bit different to driving a cargo vehicle. I'm not going to spill cargo, but I could tip over easily and then need something to get me back on my wheels. So yeah, it's just a interesting, slightly different dynamic to play. So when I take these 8 out for this load, I suppose there'll be 5 left, which is ideal for the other trailer anyway. So I probably will just do the one batch now. I'm alright for fuel for a minute. I'll do some fuel manipulation in a minute. So, rows, loading platform, please. And then crane mode, legs down. Get it loaded. Love that working light. Last one for this trip. And then stop the engine, restore the crane just to keep it neat. Probably because I will be driving it back in a bit anyway. Change truck. Back the cargo. And then got to get back. And I am going to do the same route as last time, which is a little bit risky. Going down the railway line with this. But it should be fine. And we'll take the Pacific afterwards, after we've got the Zix there. Take this in as wide as I can. Last time the part of it was dark as well last time, but part of the trailer seemed to be stuck on the track when I was trying to do this last time. A little bit of shenanigans trying to get it around the corner, but we'll see. Nope, just drilled perfectly that time, he says. Let's get over that last bit. I do like this trailer. It has definitely made it a fun drive to be able to use the Zix with a trailer like this. It's enjoyable. It was a bit of a splurge, but I'm glad I made that decision. Oh, well, that's telling me to pick up there. That's probably the fuel barrels. It must have also activated the fuel barrels when I handed in that last one. We'll deliver 8. And then we'll craft 4 more beams. And then we'll position a trailer to be able to load it up with those 4 beams. Try and position a trailer. Bit of a tight maneuvering space. Oh, beauty. The driving's going well today, so far. The reversing of this trailer, I surprised myself at the start of the episode that it just reversed straight out of that rail construction site easily. Although I've done a little bit of reversing and driving of various size trailers in the real world. Obviously not trucks, but certainly in my early days, agricultural and construction vehicles on site, I've done a bit of driving of. And a longer trailer is easier to reverse than a shorter trailer. Ish, I think. Kind of not really where I want that, but that'll do. I think I'll be able to load it. It's just not quite where I would have chosen to put it. But yeah, so a longer vehicle is just a bit more predictable when you're trying to reverse. I think there's less easy to oversteer. So this trailer is a joy for that reason as well. Now I am going to do a little bit of fuel shenanigans, because I want this crane full, so which means I have to swap trucks real quick into the Kodiak. Then the Kodiak can refuel the Pacific and itself. And I'm just going to leave the Kodiak here for now. I haven't got any reason to move it anywhere else. I've got plenty of other fuel on this map, and I dare say I'll be in and out of this location enough to need fuel in this corner. I need to move it, I'll move it. I may even, once I've got the roads fixed, move it all the way up to the garage on the other map. So that's low high with the diff lock switched on, which doesn't affect your fuel economy, and is moving at a decent enough pace for a crane vehicle like this. Although it doesn't look the diff lock. Thinks the diff lock's gonna burn out. And these 4 beams I am just going to take straight to the bridge. I know, because I know I've got resources on this map to craft more. I've delivered 4. I think I need 10 beams total for the railway sleepers when I get to do them. So 6 more, which means 12 metal rolls. And I know that there's another 20 metal rolls on this map that I haven't unlocked their warehouses yet. So I'm not worried about, at the moment, taking these beams off to the other map. And I thought about just taking those 4 beams out of that that location that we took them to in the last episode, because if I'd have done that, I'd have got on with the bridges quicker. But this just feels like a more positive way to move forward, is leave those where they are, craft up some more, get them delivered, completed a task in the process to rescue that vehicle, unlock the warehouse, and I won't have to redo the 4 beams that I've already done. Ooh, bit of damage taken. We're daring to drive faster than 5 miles an hour. My fault. Right. I'm just going to stick this one's nose in there. And then that'll do. No, I probably want a little bit. There we go. Is that not a bad location to load that trailer? So, cargo, metal beams, loading platform, rain mode. I'll do, I think. So, stop the engine, install the crane, change truck, back, and we're off. Not bad. Probably got time to get these delivered. The contract that we're working on, or task that we're working on, I think it also requires slabs, and I won't have time to do that in this episode, I don't think. I think we'll just get these 4 delivered and then see what happens from there. Another photo opportunity. Let's get on, that's enough photography for one day. So we're going to go past the garage, refuel there, and then on into the other map. Trying it in high, but one thing about this truck is, I know it's got a big trailer and a lot of cargo on, but this S06 does seem to lack torque in high gear. It quite often stalls at times that I think to myself, no way, the S06 wouldn't stall there, would it? Obviously it does. Oh, look at that field lot. I mean, you could do a bit of farming in it. So here's a question, thinking about phase 8 and seeing that field. The tractor that I recovered, Curvet's, is it? K700? It has a rear attachment that looks like it, for that phase, it's probably meant for picking up big round bales, but it's just a rear hook claw thing. Has anybody tried using that for logging? Does it work out for logging? Can it lift logs high enough to put them into the long or medium log add-ons? What's your guys' experience of that thing so far? I've not tried it myself, so I'm just wondering whether anybody's using it for that. Because I think log loading is one of the things, or at least log moving, it would have done in the real world. But I think they tended to have ramps so that you can pull up alongside the ramp in a truck, and then the tractor doesn't have to lift things so high to get them loaded into the trailer. I'm going to come through here again the way I did last time. Keep it as wide as I can. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's going too well, isn't it? So it's our second batch of 4 metal beams coming this way. The last lot we put in that rail fabrication place. This one we're going to take into the other map. So refuel into the Zix. There we go. That's half empty now. Although the Phoenix's tank is nearly full. And then I just want to see, can I select modulate tasks? And the one I'm taking this to is this railway bridge. 4 lots of metal beams followed by 2 lots of slabs. And I won't have the ability to load the slabs, but I think you get slabs. You can get a certain number of them. Oh, actually, you can get an infinite supply of slabs and blocks from this railway station. And you don't need power for that. That's not one of the things you need to generate it for. So, although I won't have the ability to load it, I could get slabs from there. So, into Black Badger Lake. It should be a fairly simple run. Beautiful sunny day in Wisconsin. Very densely forested area as well, isn't it, that they picked for this map. I don't know how geographically correct this is versus the real Wisconsin, but yeah, definitely tree country rather than arable. Black Badger Lake. Uneventful drive so far. Rock Dev has had a field day though. It's funny. For the 100th time, give me a damn bulldozer, will you? Right, this is going to be a big chunk. I'm assuming it'll be a cut scene, but obviously it's not going to complete because I haven't delivered the slabs yet. Engine off. Cargo. 4 metal beams. Nice. So, to do the next bit... There's a warehouse here as well. That's got 2 slabs. Ooh, that's also got a large pipe. Which, if I remember rightly, I'll need a large pipe. Or, I don't know why that won't let me select it. It does that sometimes. Here we go. I tried to select the fuel station, it selected this. So that's got 2 large pipes. I need both of these slabs for this one. But I also need a large pipe back in the other map to allow me to unlock one of the warehouses. So what I'm thinking of doing, the question is whether I've got time to do it in this episode. What I'm thinking of doing is bringing through the Tatra Force. It's inevitable it's going to happen anyway, so let's bring it through. Well, inevitable. I thought about either this or the Azov 73-210, but they're both really great vehicles. I prefer the crane on this one, and I prefer it enough that I think it's worth favouring this one still. It doesn't need any changes because it's already got mud tyres on. Worth a repair? It probably is, isn't it? It's pretty beaten up. It did a lot of work for me in Yukon. I'm down to 150 grand. But we'll splurge on that. Did I store it bone dry? That's the question. Yes, I did. It is completely empty. Ouch. So I need to get fuel to it. Let's race forward back to the garage. And there is a track down here, but where does it go? Is it a track? There's a tree across it, whatever it is. Not driven the Ford for a few episodes. Finish the episode out with a little bit of scouting and get back to just chuck enough fuel in at force to allow it to go and refuel at the fuel station. Wooden planks I can pick up. Ooh, dead end. That's what that looks like. No such thing. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm committed now. I've committed before thinking about it. That is a bit more treacherous than I thought it was when I was looking at it and decided to do it. I am in. An actual goddamn force of a vehicle. Not one of those fake things. I mean, come off it. That was a good truck, right? I know how much it'll trigger people. Insulting the mighty loaf. Didn't even have all-wheel drive for that coming down that hill. Well, gravity was on my side, but I've got enough fuel. I don't need to worry about fuel at this fuel station, so I'm just going to push on. Now, this is more of a problem. I just remember I came across this bit of it in my special expedition. I'm definitely not going to have time in this episode to load up those slabs, but at least if I can get this moved up to the garage, I'll know that the next episode I can start in the force with some fuel and get going on a bit of progress. I'm also going to buy a 4-slot ramped trailer for the force, so put it back in its customary 6-slot cargo configuration. And then we will end up using the force quite a lot then for the rest of, or for the next few episodes, because it's a much more maneuverable cargo vehicle. Came down through here in a Taiga in the special expedition. What's that trail lead to then? Kind of interested in whether there's a trail that gets to the garage, because I know there's a gnarly bit of muddy water between me and the garage at the moment. That's showing me the crafting zone over there. I think that's where the generator is. I remember this being quite unpleasant in the Taiga. Yeah, like that. It's just a pit. It's just a little patch of death mud that I'll put myself in. See if I can wiggle my back end around. I'm also being slightly washed downstream. This is a worse bit of mud than it looks like it should be. slide into the right slightly. It looks like that should be easy, doesn't it? That's a proper flood though. I love the water dynamics. I love the way that the water looks. How do I get across that without it being a disaster? Very slow. I am moving. This is proper stuck. Trying to tempt me into being washed down into that town. Which would be quite funny, but I'm out of time really now. That is a tree. I can see my winch isn't finding anything. Okay, I'm just on the tip of near to reach it. There's a post behind me, but that's quite a way off. The lights on, that's bound to help, isn't it? That's just horrible, isn't it? The death mud. Just sat there spinning. Come on. So I knew about it because I did the special expedition. I remember the Tega struggling through here. The Tega probably had a slightly longer winch line by this point to be able to reach that branch. Medium winch being slightly longer. But I don't know how I'm supposed to cross this in the ford. Right, I need to rethink that crossing. Question is, would it cross there? Is there enough rock material, or am I just going to go straight back into a pit? There's a branch ahead of me, a couple of branches ahead of me. Winch runner. Right, so that's the route I should have taken. That's cost me a little bit of time that editor will curse me for. That's a problem for editor outlay. Let me get back on track with the thing I was trying to achieve, which is literally just getting to the garage. But cautionary note to myself that that's a horrible piece of terrain to cross. And it's going to be just as horrible in a big truck with cargo. But job done. Refuel from my custom bed into the Force. And then that is going to be all I've got time for in this episode. Because that little bit of death mud caused me an issue. And I probably didn't have time to do a cargo run with this anyway. So next episode, we're going to be taking the Force, buying a 4-slot ramped trailer for it. So yet another spending splurge. But then we can come straight into this warehouse, pick up 2 slabs. We may end up fixing this creek bridge first, just to give me easier access. And then down to this railway bridge with the 2 slabs. So yeah, next episode we'll be working around this area for a little bit. Fix the creek bridge, fix the railway bridge. There's another bridge here for the factories. We'll see about fixing that as well. We'll have a little bit of a road mending spree at the start of the next episode. But that is enough for this one. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel like we made a decent bit of progress today. I look forward to see you in the next episode. In the meantime, thanks and goodbye.